Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon back with some more test server footage of the Lasso of Truth. So I'm just going to mess around with some of the open world bounties to see if we could kind of break the game. Now from the previous video, and you can check out the link in the card above, you saw that I could drag like the ad, and it was a solo boss, so it wasn't really like a true boss, but I could drag them in a non-linear direction with the lasso. So I'm going to try it on some of the bounties here because these would be considered true bosses. So Nefertito's here is a low level one, so I might be able to pull him, but we'll see. I mean, it does look like he's following. And there could be some differences in the bosses, because, like, for example, some of them, even though they're large, you can counter them. Yeah, he's not really following like the hypnosis of the lasso. So this is just regular aggro, pretty much. So yeah, it looks like that's only going to work for solos and ads. Let me try to grab one of the CC bounties, because they're like human-sized. So we'll see if there's any difference with those. Well, there's Boomerang. The other thing you have to be careful about here, like when you're trying to do this, is if you pull them too far, they might reset, because each of them has like a certain radius for boundaries until they reset. Although Boomerang, I don't know if this is a bug, but he wanders way further than the others. Alright, so let's see what happens with this guy. Yeah, it doesn't look like bosses react the same way. So this is kind of a question mark for things like, as I mentioned in the other video, like the Dark Multiverse feat. Where you need to try to kite the embers, because those aren't physically pullable, but they're not the boss either, so we don't know if this is going to do anything, and that's a big thing to have a question mark, like if you're trying to level this thing all the way up, because like if you wanted this to help out with the ember feat, you would have to get it up to 180, because that way you can drag like 7 of them. Otherwise, you're just going to be dragging 2. And I tried to think of like some other situations where you could use this. It would basically be alerts or raids where you need to kite something around an object. Because otherwise you would just use a regular pull. The advantage of this artifact is you're dragging them for a few seconds, so you can go like non-linear. But yeah, the only things I could think of are like Dark Multiverse, because there are the rocks in the middle. Possibly Monsters of Metal, because you've got the portals and you've got different packs of ads like in different areas. The Ivy fight obviously has a lot of obstacles, but yeah, all these things have already been done like without the artifact, so that puts into question how much this is worth leveling. I mean, unless there's something in the Wonderverse episode that specifically calls for it. All other past content, as well as the feats for those, can be done without it. So I don't know. I think it's pretty creative, but the grind to 180 it just might not be worth it, because you know, by the time you get it to 180, you're going to be past the midpoint of the next DLC. You know, if you level it naturally, that's like without buying the marketplace XP and stuff. Well, okay, I'm just gonna go check out Doomsday. It's kind of cool because you do see the effect on him, and you know, it looks like you're trying to pull him. Yeah, that's just regular aggro, it's not working. It would be nice if you could drag him for a bit, because I mean, that would really let you set this up. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say it's not worth it overall. I mean, this is even more situational than like Eye of Gemini. This wouldn't even be worth it for like a hot swappable artifact, because I'd rather have something else in here. Well, let's look at the stats. How does it compare? Okay, it's the same as Dillastil. And I believe Mystic Symbol of 7 is also the same as Dillastil maxed out. I don't remember if Legionnaire Sparring Target is. Probably not, because that's not actually, it's not a pure tank artifact. So yeah, I mean, it's got good innate stats, but if you're just putting it here for that, it's probably not worth it. Yeah, in most situations, I'd rather have something else in there. Like for raids, Manacles of Force is good. Depending on the boss, you might want to swap in AI Sparring Target or something else. But yeah, if this stays as is, I'm probably not going to use it. And I kind of thought about it for a bit, because my tank artifacts on live are already high, so I have the capacity to power this up. But you know, just putting all that effort into it for me to use it just a handful of times is probably not worth it. Okay, I think that's going to be it for my lasso videos, unless they make like a major change to it. Okay, thanks for watching.